Hello, welcome to Swag Files. Today we're going to be talking about what your angel numbers mean. Now, I did some research and across the board, all the angel numbers mean the same thing, like no matter who's interpreting it. But I wanted to talk about it in a more general and wider sense. And I wanted to touch on synchronities. So, what this basically means in a way is that it's basically another word for alignment, and it's like everything is just going in sync and in the way that it should be. And that's how I view angel numbers. They're basically just affirming that you are in alignment with your timeline. And the big idea, or the bigger picture to really focus on here is your timeline. So it means that it might not be what you were thinking initially, but what matters is that you're on the right path. And in talking about alignment and being on the right path, I've also been thinking about how decisions are portals, but also how they also have this domino effect on how when you make a decision on one thing and it leads to the other, and it creates this ripple effect of the next thing that you're bound to fall into. And I think that time and numbers are just meant to measure space, but at the same time I do think that they are illusions, because a lot of the times when we see these angel numbers, we see them either in time. So when you're checking the time, or oh, I've seen some on number plates and also on home addresses, and now we see them on people like having it tatted on them. But the whole point is to basically kind of flip mathematics and physics and kind of have it interpret life in a sense, and um when looking at them, to me, I just use them to affirm that, you know what, I'm on the right path, and not to always just overthink something, and I think that when moving in that way, it really does help ease a lot of anxiety and wondering, like, is this really for me? But believing that you are in alignment is something to be worked on, because when you think about it, right, a lot of the times you can't really know if this decision that you're making is the right one, or if this decision that you're making is going to inevitably inevitably lead you to where you're trying to go. And I think this might also factor in the fact that we're trusting the process. Like at 222, you could be anywhere in the world, but you're right here, right where you are. And I've also been noticing like some energy shifts, and then when I pay attention to what the time is and I see these angel numbers, I just think to myself, you know what? Maybe in this given moment I was meant to be here. And it really eliminates any overthinking for a moment, which is quite the relief. But I say all this to say that we are not, firstly, not supposed to be in control all the time of our timelines and how they move. And so coming to peace with that and accepting that, firstly, is really a a good first step into letting life flow the way that it should. And I'm not saying that in a way where you just allow anything to just happen. Like, obviously have your goals, work towards something, make something of yourself. But I say that in a sense that trust that things are working out in your favor, because at the end of the day, there's a lot that we cannot control. And I think that one thing that we can really only ever do is make a decision in the moment and hope that it's going to work out as best as it possibly can. So, next time you see an angel number, just think to yourself that, you know what, everything is going to work out the way that it should. Because if you also think about it, if you weren't meant to be here at this given time, you wouldn't be, but you are. So that has to mean something, that has to stand for something. And I do believe that every human has a purpose, whether or not we are aware of what it is or what any of this means, but we are here because we were meant to be, and our time is now. Our time is now, and I hope that everyone is able to do best with the time that they have, whatever that looks like for each individual. We obviously cannot box ourselves into one category, but we can all for sure strive for the best in any possible way that we can. And so that's it from me. Thank you for watching Swag Files. I think I'm venturing into changing the name again, but it's nothing too drastic. It's nothing too drastic. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.